She in her car making a video. How dare they make this woman look like this and black women don't look like that? And I guarantee y'all, this is why I actually went and looked at her page. I knew before I looked at her page, this is wild, because it looked like when you get out the car, you're going to look exactly like that statue. So why you would have a problem with this, I don't even know. I don't know. I'd say I'm reasonable. Okay, that's completely unreasonable. I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate. Fitting, suitable, logical. All things I would definitely say describe me. Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. Forgive me, I am a little under the weather. But we're here. How have you guys been? Let's see, on a scale from gas to electric. How reasonable have we been this week? I drove to Vegas this past weekend in a gas car for the first time in a couple of years. And wow, to not have to stop and charge for like 20 to 35 minutes, it really is a game changer. It really is a game changer. Like the trip was literally 4 hours. That's it. Like legit from Los Angeles to Las Vegas and Las Vegas back to LA. Each time it was 4 hours. And when I got back to, I had filled up before I left. I had a full tank when I left New Jersey. What? I had a full tank. Forgive me. This is gonna be a doozy for me. I had a full tank when I left Las Vegas. And when I got back home, I still had 240 miles left on my gas tank. So yeah, that was nice. It how you have a car and you like, not that I ever think like, did I not make the right decision with this car? But there's certain things that happen, different things, that make you appreciate it. That day, there and back this weekend, I was like, you know what? This was a good purchase. So far, so good. So I know this past weekend I was supposed to talk about gift giving on the Weekend Live, but that did not happen. But don't worry, I see your messages in the ZainabComedyVIP at Gmail inbox, and I see the messages in my Instagram DM. And I know y'all want to talk about that, and we'll do it this coming weekend. So today, though, we are going to talk about the Magic Mike show in Vegas that I went to see. We're going to talk about that and what's up with Z, as well as we have a little bit of a follow-up. Remember last week I was talking about, this is what I would have wore at the Met Gala. Well, a couple of reasons decided to use AI, and I think they used AI or some other technology and do some mock-ups. And so I'll share those with you guys in the What's Up with Z section. And I went to see Cowboy. It's been a jam-packed past week for me. I went to Cowboy Carter tour by myself, had a ball. We'll get into all of that. It was a really festive week. So the fact that I'm here sipping on tea and echinacea. In the main topics this episode, of course, Diddy's trial is underway. And so we are only talking about that very briefly. I get it. It's salacious. People click on it. However, there are much more interesting things to discuss, like the bronze Black lady statue in the middle of Times Square, as well as Halle Berry put up a post on, I think, Mother's Day. She was in a hotel with her boyfriend in Cannes and talking about a product in the bed, and people had a problem with it. And so we're going to get into that. No Ask Z this week. We do have a follow-up. Remember the ask? Well, I ain't even going to talk about it because we're not going to get into that this week because it is a jam-packed episode. So I know I won't have time to get into it. But before we actually talk the talks, this walk in the walks, let's talk about where you guys can see me live, right? Okay, so May 22nd, I will be in Burbank, California. I will be doing a show testing out all new jokes. Some might be like super polished and finished. It might be the first time I'm ever saying it in life. After the show, I might be like, ooh, this joke has legs. Or I might be like, ooh, okay, well, we got to just toss that one. That is May 22nd in Burbank, California at Flappers Comedy Club. Then May 23rd and 24th, I will be in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Looney Bin. Comedy Club names can be very funny. May 23rd and 24th, Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Looney Bin. Then May 30th, Atlanta, Georgia. May 30th for one night only, 2 shows at the City Winery in Atlanta. That is May 30th. June 5th, I will be in St. Louis, Missouri for one night only, 1 show, 1 night. I think 1 show, I don't know. It might be 2 shows, I don't know. But that night I will be in St. Louis, Missouri. June 6th through the 8th, I will be in Kansas City, Missouri. June 13th and 14th, San Francisco, California, IA. June 19th through the 21st, Baltimore, Maryland. June 27th and 28th, Tampa, Florida. July 18th and 19th, Stamford, Connecticut. Then July 21st through the 26th, I will be in London, England. I will be doing all crowd work shows at the Soho Theatre, Dean Street in London. That is the 21st of July through the 26th of July. And then right after that, I'm heading over to Edinburgh, Scotland, UK. And I will be there for the Fringe Festival. So if you are anybody that attends the Fringe Festival in Edinburgh, I will be there. And so make sure you get your tickets to my show. Then when I come back to the States, September 5th and 6th, I will be in Seattle, Washington. September 7th, Portland, Oregon. September 26th and 27th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I forgot this last time, and a reason put it in a comment, and so I appreciate you. This date was rescheduled. It was supposed to be it was rescheduled along with the Stamford date. And so it's Boston, Massachusetts for one night only. That's right after Philadelphia. So I'm going to leave Philadelphia and go right to Boston. That is September 28th. I will be in Boston. September 28th, I will be in Boston, Massachusetts for one night only. October 10th, I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. for one night only. I think I'm doing like a comedy festival in D.C. for one night only. And it's hosted by a pretty big comedian. And yeah, it's hosted by a pretty big comedian. And then October 17th through the 19th, West Nyack, New York. October 17th, 18th, and 19th, West Nyack, New York. Sorry, you guys. I don't know, I might be speaking like slow this episode because it is taking me a lot. It's because I do very much, I'm not sure if you can hear it or see it, but I do very much have symptoms. Where was I? Oh, October 31st. These are the new dates for Cleveland. Remember I said Cleveland was being rescheduled? October 31st through November 2nd. So Halloween, and then that weekend I will be in Cleveland, Ohio. So October 31st through November 2nd. And then, of course, we're going back to Houston, baby. November 13th through the 15th. Houston, Texas, November 13th through the 15th. November 21st and 22nd, Detroit, Michigan. November 21st and 22nd, Detroit, Michigan. And then closing out the year, we have December 5th through the 7th in Addisson, Texas. And December 12th and 13th in Dayton, Kentucky, which is also the Cincinnati, Ohio area. The link to those tickets are in the details of this podcast. So just scroll down, click on the link, grab you some tickets. While I have you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if at any point in this episode you like what you're hearing, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and share it. It is appreciated. Okay. What's up with Z? Z is in pain. Okay, so first off, right, last week I had talked about what I would wear to the Met Gala. I had talked about, like, I was like, oh, I would want to look like modern, like the theme was Black dandyism, right? And I was like, ooh, I would be a bit more modern with it. Like, I'm definitely wearing a pantsuit, but I would probably do things that were reflective of like my childhood in like the 90s, you know? And so like fly, you know, SHIT from the 90s. And so I was like, oh, I'd wear like a custom Coogee suit and, you know, Yankee fitted and blah, 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 and I'd have a bob and everything. And there were two reasons so far that I've seen that decided to do their own mock-up. And so the first one comes from Tyree. And I think, because this is great, like, I think that if somebody shows up in this, or if this was made, so you see it's two different suits, and we'll get into it, right? It's two different suits. But I think that I think people would have wanted this more than most outfits that were on that red carpet, because some things like, right, like, obviously Tiana Taylor was like magnificent, although I wouldn't wear that really, but Tiana Taylor was like good. Or like I said, Janelle Monáe was, you know, like top tier. It was a few people, but it's like those outfits are not like, they're not, I'm not saying they can't be practical, but it's like, it definitely, that looks like art. That looks like very themed. Like, I think this outfit, I think Coogee that's what I'm trying to say. I think Coogee need to make this outfit. I think Coogee needs to make this outfit. And here's what I love. So, first of all, this is just what we have to say about AI. AI ain't never going to get the face right. I put my actual picture into Chat GPT. I put my picture and I describe, like, okay, make a flyer using this picture and these words and this information. And it still changed my face. Like, why would you change the face if I'm giving you the face? Like, why would you? What I really like about this Coogee outfit, what I like about Tyree's designs are, so I really like the sparkly, but then I really like that it's not, I really like the more matted one. And I love that they added the shade. Like, I love that the Yankee hat has sparkle, but the suit doesn't. I just love how contrasting that is. And I love that it has leather gloves instead of the matching. Like, they're both nice, but I just love sort of like the different textures in the second picture, you know, in the more muted picture. And I like that Tyree added sunglasses and earrings, you know, just like accessorize. It's like when you see people on social media and they're like, this is the difference between wearing something versus styling something. And usually it just has to do with how you accessorize it, like what you add to it after putting it on, right? And so I like that. The only thing which I like how it would say Met Gala 2025 in the back, so, and it got paparazzi and all of that in the back. This was just like so great. What I also would do though, like, you notice how in the suits, there's nothing under the suit, just because, like, that's how I would wear it if I was just wearing this in my regular life, right? But for the actual Met Gala, I would have still layered it, meaning I would have still had the vest under it. I would have still had the button-down shirt under it all the way to the top. I would have still had the tie. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, for Black dandyism, I would not show no skin, no feminine nothing, no breasts, no cleavage, no nothing, no clavicle, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? We doing what the men's do. You know? So that's the only change that I would make. Okay, we also had Black Creative send in some mock-ups. Black Creative was who submitted the superbly written Ask Z last week, asking if they should let their manager or supervisor know at their government job, like, I'm gonna be doing a bare minimum, and I'm also, planning I'm also planning, arming, educating a resistance while I'm doing a bare minimum. Should I let them know? And I was like, no, keep doing what you're doing, but no. Also, you want to come over here and do that. Anyway, so they mocked up a few things as well. And I love the close-up. This is giving, like, I love the fact that the earrings are, obviously they added more color, right? Like blues, purples, etc., which I really like. This is like a close-up on it, but it's still, I'm telling you, this Coochie needs to sell this. The fact that nobody's wearing this right now, this is really cute. And here's the thing. Now we've created a whole line. We've created, me talking on this podcast and then the reasons going off and creating from the stuff that I'm saying. This is a whole line. Now, I wouldn't have worn this to the Met Gala because this is not Black Dandy to me. This is sexy lady to me. But this sexy fly hood girl, when's her album dropping? When, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, why isn't Nicki Minaj wearing stuff like this? Why aren't, like, girls down in, so, like, why aren't people wearing stuff like this? But I think it's, like, great. I think it's so great. And then here's the full suit. Now, here's the thing about Coochie, right? Thing about Coochie is, and I noticed everybody put the suit, and I wasn't specific. I didn't say like, oh, I would layer it. So I would definitely layer it. This is like the difference between dressing and styling. But I do feel like if I have a like, let's say Black Creative came to a board meeting and these were his mock-ups, or Black Creative, I believe, is a he. And these were, I'm gonna just say there because I don't know. I don't know why I don't know. I'm imagining a he, though. Forgive me, Black Creative. But if they came to like a meeting and I was like the head of a company, right? And they showed me these mock-ups, the first thing that I would get rid of is it's saying Coochie. I hate a double down. It's like the print is clearly a Coochie print. So we don't got to write. I would be so mad. I actually don't even like this. If you see like, it's like the monogram Gucci and then it got to say Gucci. It's like, for me, that'd be the first. I mean, I'm sure Gucci has done that before, but that also be like the first sign is like, oh, this might be like a knockoff, So I would remove the Coochie sign, and I would, with this particular color I would still go with the shoes that are the same exact material as the suit, but I would make them boots. And the boots there would be no separation between the boots would go into the pant. There would be no separation. Like, I don't want to see no skin. I don't even want to see ankles or top of the feet. I don't want to see none of that. And I feel like it just kind of like it cheapens it a little bit, like the little yellow heel with the, I just feel like it, I don't know if cheapen, that may not be the right word, but it makes it, it just make it a little bit more casual, like, where, yeah. It's like either the pants got to be much longer and got to come down over the shoe and you see just the yellow peep toe and bow coming out, pointed toe and a bow coming out from under the pant, or it got to be all the same fabric and we can't see no skin. No skin. I'm talking about, let's put some gloves on. Let's put, you get what I'm saying? Let's cover all of this up. Like, I mess around and put something under that even goes into, it's attached, and then it's like the Yankee brim, and even that is attached. You get what I'm saying? And with that particular thing, I'm just taking too long. With that particular thing, it would still be a blunt bob, but I would give it some texture. Just so it could come out of like the hat and kind of like the hood, I would give it a little bit of texture. I'm telling y'all, they gonna see. This is, I don't know what Govs. Oh, because Black Creative works for the government. I think that's what that means. This is nice, but very casual. Like this ain't Met Gala. This is like we going to. This just like we stunting. Like this just what I wear, and I live in Brooklyn. What? And you just walk, you just on your way to work, and somebody got to stop you. So one of them influencers got to stop you and be like, "Yo, your fit is fire. What you wearing? Oh, you got the custom made Coogee with the Govs on the shirt. Ooh, with the Yankee fitted, no Mets over here, just Yankees on a BX all day. You know how the influencers be when they stop people. Yo, tell them what you wearing right now. Tell them what you wearing right there. With the boots, with the all black boot, with the. I feel like that's this type of outfit, but I do like that the model got darker. Anyway, that was so much fun. Thank you guys. Thank you. I feel like all I got to do is come up with ideas. Even when we talk about, so on one of the lives, I gave Olivia credit for Gigi's idea with the t-shirts, right? With the I'm Reasonable t-shirts. And Gigi was like, I just listened to the live. Why are you giving Olivia credit for my idea? I'm like, girl, I'm so sorry. You know, I be doing a lot. And after that show, I be trying to write down stuff, like when I get to the green room, to try to remember like what I talk about with y'all, what I talk about when I engage with y'all in person. And I wrote down Gigi and Olivia. And when I looked at it, and I was like, oh, dang, I wrote down the names, but I didn't write down the specifics. So that's how it got mixed up. I ain't even mentioned Gigi, I don't think, in the live. I can't remember. But Gigi was like, hey girl, hey. I mean, I appreciate you, but yeah, that's my idea. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It is. And I will release an official correction on the live, but I ain't go live. So that's why I'm saying it here. But I just feel like just the fact that I can say something and it sparks this, this I don't know, action in you guys to kind of like mock up something. I'm telling you, every one of these things, with a few tweaks maybe, I can see on people and selling in a store. And when I talked about Gigi's idea for the Reasons t-shirts, what did everybody say? Oh, I would definitely buy one of those. So, I don't know, when we make them up, Gigi, I think I'm going to have to put like something on like designed by Gigi or something like that. Like, I'm gonna sell them because I don't think people will buy them from you, Gigi. I think they would have to buy them from me, but we would have to give you credit in the whatchamacallit. And maybe like $1 of every sale. I don't know. I'm just talking. I am just talking, but hold me to it. All right. So I'm still in What's Up with Z. It's going to take me 9 episodes to get through this What's Up with Z. So last week, right after y'all got the episode, I did my day. I told myself when I woke up Wednesday morning, I said, if I get everything done that I need to do, if I get every assignment done, every errand ran, if I get everything on my to-do list done, I'm going to see Cowboy Carter. Sure enough, I was done at about 5:45 p.m. I made me some food. Excuse me. I made myself some food. I got in my car. I drove to the stadium. Matter of fact, I didn't even park at the stadium because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get tickets. I even posted something on like my Instagram stories like, yo, I'm not dressed in anything denim. Like I'm normally a person who has on denim. I didn't have on nothing denim that day. I was like, I'm not dressed in anything cowboy themed. I'm not ready for the hold down. I don't have a ticket. I'm not with a friend. I didn't ask a friend. I don't care about that. But I'm on my way to see Beyonce. So I'm going to just go to the ticket booth and see what tickets are, see what the best tickets they got available for sale, and I'm buying a ticket. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't think I'll ever do a concert different. I think the days of me sitting up there waiting at 12 p.m. whenever they announce the time, like tickets to go on sale. I think that, and it's not because I don't want to, like, remember I was like, buy the tickets early. As soon as they drop, remember I said that. Buy the tickets early as soon as they drop. I think definitely for smaller acts, right? Definitely for smaller acts, you have to do that. I stand by that. When I put my tickets on sale, you got to get my tickets immediately. When smaller independent acts put their tickets on sale, because it might be dependent on whether or not the show like sell. I mean, the show happens, you know? The thing about huge acts like Beyonce, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, Beyonce tickets going to sell anyway. No, that's not the case. I remember with Renaissance, I got to Minnesota or something like that, and they was like, I'm so mad Beyonce can't, because the tickets wasn't really selling. Renaissance, like, the city was looking forward to her coming because they knew it would be an influx of capital for them, and they needed that. Like, but them people wasn't buying them tickets. And you know, in Minnesota, the tickets are going to be cheaper than LA. Or then, you know, there's certain markets where the tickets are so expensive. And then it's just like a house. Yeah, you paying this for a house in LA, that's not the same price you're going to pay for a house in some other place, right? So, but, because of what Ticketmaster does with the price gouging, and because what resellers do, they try to buy the tickets at a lower price and then sell them for astronomically higher, which is why I be telling y'all, if my shows sell out, do not buy tickets from, unless, do what you want. But right now in my career, my tickets be selling anywhere from like probably $25 to $45. I don't charge for no meet and greet, not yet. I was listening to, I heard somebody that, I don't got no judgment on this. But I said, I be leaving so much money on the table. People out here charging $50, $40, $50, $60 for y'all to take a picture with them. I be out there after every show. I need to go back in the green room and rest. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I need to go back in the green. The second show be starting and I still be outside with the people from the first show, like last week, listening to every word y'all say. Reminding me of every DM you sent me. Calming y'all down when y'all be a little nervous talking to me. Take a picture. Make sure you like it. No, did you like it? Let's do it again. I'm like, then when I listen to people and they be like, yeah, no, I'm doing a meet and greet and I charge $50 for a picture. I be like, I don't know if I'm reasonable or unreasonable. Anywho. Y'all see what type of episode this is about to be. This is about to be 90 hours long. Oh my God. I get in my car. I don't know if I'm actually going to get tickets. I don't know what's available. So I don't park my car at the stadium. Yeah, and I walk to the stadium because I didn't know if I was going to get tickets, right? And I go right to the ticket booth. And for me, it's like very easy to walk a mile, right? Like I'm from New York City. I could walk 10 miles with my eyes closed. And so I get to the stadium. I go to the ticket booth. The girl was like, I was like, hey, are there any tickets available? And she was like, yep, there's tickets. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, can I have like, you know, can I see what like the best tickets are? And got a ticket, went right inside, sat my behind down and enjoyed Cowboy Carter, like thoroughly enjoyed Cowboy Carter, like thoroughly. And I encourage, like some of y'all tell me like, or I'll see it like in my comments, like, hey, I bought tickets to the show, but my fill in the blank had to cancel. And so anybody want these tickets? And it's like, do what you want, but I was so happy to be by myself. Obviously, everybody, seats are tight at a stadium, right? At an arena, at a show. It's always tight. So you are going to be around people. And you're going to be around people who, at least for that 2 hours, are as like-minded as you. Y'all all here to see and enjoy Beyonce. And it was like one extra seat next to me. And then this guy ended up coming and sitting there. And he was having a good old time at the concert. And I was having a good old time at the concert. It was wonderful. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because, so obviously during Renaissance, it was the introduction of Blue Ivy as a performer, right? I mean, I know on Beyonce's albums, we hear Blue Ivy singing, we hear Blue Ivy talking. I know we've seen a lot more of Blue Ivy than any of their other children. And we have the pleasure of seeing Rumi come out on stage at the Cowboy Carter. And in Los Angeles specifically, I think Beyonce did like 5 nights or something in Los Angeles. My head is starting to hurt. She did like 5 nights in Los Angeles. And the first night I saw on TikTok, Rumi looked so happy. She looked so like, it's like, how do you express that? You put I think she's like 8 years old. You put a 8-year-old person in front of like 60,000 people. Do you get what I'm saying? And not only are they excited, but they get even more excited when you come out. When you, as the 8-year-old, come out. So she's super excited. And then everybody started saying like, oh, and I don't know if this, let me finish my sentence. Oh, she's autistic. She's on the spectrum. But so, and I don't know if this is from what Kanye said or if this is just how people talk. I don't know. And I don't care. Meaning, it does not, every single thing I think about Beyonce's children and want for Beyonce's children, none of it changes if they are the brightest, if they are the most capable kids, or if they have special needs or whatever. It doesn't change anything. For me, I am not that invested. But also, in a world where we work so hard to normalize, to not make people feel bad, to sort of, I don't know, try to bring awareness to be helpful. It's crazy that how much people talk about like things in the context of negativity. If the child is on the spectrum in any way, let me just tell you what. Her and her brother are in the best possible scenario to have special needs. If they are, I don't know. I'm wishing Beyonce and her children the best regard, like anybody and their children. You gotta be a cold piece of work as a kid for me to not want the best for you as a kid. But also, I have a special needs sister, and I'm not talking about spectrum. I'm talking about severely special needs. Severely. And part of me wonders what her life could possibly have looked like if my parents were wealthy. If my parents not only had the resources, but my parents have so many kids. Like, I think about, I met with this woman, like a TV writer or something. This episode going to be 92 hours. I met with a TV writer, wealthy TV writer. And how we connected was she has a special needs child, and I was writing a character based on my sister. And I mean, we were meeting for a bigger project, but that was the thing that really like connected with her because she has been raising a special needs child, right? Who is an adult woman now. And this woman it's her, not only is it her only child, but she's wealthy. And so when she was telling me like the life of her kid, I was like, wow, my sister was at a disadvantage in 2 ways. And the thing that she didn't lose out on was love, right? We all love her. My parents love her. And I believe that my parents did their best. However, it's like, one, we ain't really got money for services like that, right? We don't have money but also my mom has so many other kids. She really ain't even got the time. And if you from the hood, then people be having, there's people who have special needs in the hood all the time, and that's just how life is lived for them. They're not getting any special circumstances. I'll never forget this girl that I grew up with. She used to call this guy in the projects peep sight. I said, why you call him peep sight? She was like, because he can't see. She was like, he could see, like, I think he could see out of one eye, like he was born with just one eye. So instead of trying to find the best doctors and give him a new eye or some type of eye, instead he just walking around living a life, and his name is peep sight. So if Beyonce and Jay-Z's children are special needs in any way, they in the best possible position. Clearly, if you watch, and I say this respectfully to Beyonce, she ain't that good of an actress. She loves those kids. She loves those kids. It's quite beautiful to watch because it's such a different side of her. But also, they got buku money, resource, like, sometimes you got money and you don't even know they have it all. So why do you care? And then the sign of it is that she was so excited. Most people in the world, in the entire world, in their entire life, will never be in front of 60,000 people live at one time. Most people, 99.9% of people in this world for their entire life will never have the experience that Rumi is having. So if it's an 8-year-old, right? There's people who can't get up in front of their own classroom of 30 people. It's grown adults who can't get up in front of a room of 50 adults at their job and speak up without stuttering or without having some sort of, shut down reaction. I see it every night at a comedy club. Somebody be yelling from the audience and I be like, you want to come up here? And they shut the fuck up. So when somebody's 8 years old and they like, and strangers, hundreds of thousands of strangers are holding up posters with your name on it, saying they love your mom, saying they love your older sister. Of course you're going to be, that's like stimuli out the ass. If you ever interacted with a child that's a stranger, sometimes I be seeing kids and they be looking at me, I be like, and they be getting so, like, they be like, let the kids feel and process and do what they do. They're children. But that's the reason why we got effed up, repressed, sad, angry, miserable, negative adults in this world. Because you wasn't allowed to be a kid. Nobody celebrated you. Nobody loved you. Nobody protected you. And now you just perpetuating that. Not y'all, because y'all are the reasons, which means that for the most part, you're reasonable. But people out in the world, get off. If you even think to open up your TikTok and be like, oh yeah, well, because they don't show them kids because they on expect because they special need. Delete your accounts. Go see Iyanla Vanzant. You need help. You need help. Even if you a psychotherapist, even if you somebody that diagnoses that stuff. If they're not your patient, what you talking about? How you violating HIPAA laws and they ain't even come through your door yet? What else is up with Z? I'm 40 minutes in the episode and I'm only talking about what up with Z. Is this the Sinners episode? What's happening? I went to Vegas. My friends called me, comedian friends. Not that, I don't know why I stipulate that, but they was in Vegas performing and they was like, hey, you should come to Vegas. And I was like, I'm not coming to Vegas. If you know me, you know I hate Vegas. I hate Vegas. There ain't nothing for me in Vegas. Vegas is so low vibrational for me. It's just I gotta be in a room with people smoking cigarettes, drinking, sitting there losing their money, just looking downtrodden. I know in movies and stuff they make Vegas look so good. I saw Ocean's 11. That make me want to go to Vegas too. I saw Heat. I seen all the movies too. To make you want to go to Vegas, and then you get there and you like, this is sad. when I went to see Usher in Vegas, that was probably one of my favorite trips ever going to Vegas. Number one, I was only there for 24 hours. Number two, I stayed in the Four Seasons. And I know people might be like, well, you stayed in the Four Seasons. That's why it was nice, right? That's what I thought too. But I have been to Vegas so many other times, and I have stayed in really, really nice 5-star hotels, right? And I think last year I was there with my friend. Her husband was celebrating his 45th birthday, I think they are. And he even said it. He even said it when he was doing the toast. He was like, and I know, my wife done told me Zainab do not like Vegas. Even when I was in Vegas, she called. It was Tab. She texted me, friend, why are you in Vegas? You hate Vegas. Why are you there? And I just bust out laughing like, girl, as long as you know, I hate Vegas. I realized when I went to the Usher, forget the Usher concert, although that was fantastic. The residency. I realized why I enjoyed my stay at Vegas when I stayed at the Four Seasons. Because the Four Seasons is one of the only hotels that does not have a casino. So when I'm at my hotel, it's just like I'm at a nice hotel. It's like I'm at a nice resort. I don't have to walk through cigarette smoke. I don't have to walk through gambling. I don't have to walk through slot machines. And drunk people. I hate Vegas. Anyway, so I said, no, I ain't going to Vegas. And my friend was like, oh, we wanted to hike Red Rocks. And I was like, ugh. I like a hike. And I love a scenic hike. And I love a scenic hike that I have never done before. Okay, girl, what day you talking about? That's how they got me to Vegas. You want to get me somewhere, make sure it's an active new outdoor experience for me. And I'm telling you, you could get me a lot of places. It was beautiful. It was so much fun. It was, first of all, like I said, I went with it was me and 3 other comedian women that I know. And so it's laughs nonstop. Laughter on laughter on laughter on. When I tell you, even when one of us could not finish the hike, and one of us ain't me, so I shouldn't even say us. But even when one of the people couldn't finish the hike and was literally possibly having a heat stroke because it was hot, I told him, I said, I looked at y'all. This what y'all got to know. I be prepared. I said, the friend that I was talking to, her and I, we active. When I'm in New York City, her and I go running together. So I was like, okay, it's Amina. I don't know if y'all know Amina Imani. She's very funny. I was like, Amina, it's saying that it's going to be 97 degrees. So we going to have to go hiking as soon as the sun comes up. It's no getting there at 10 a.m. After probably 8:30 a.m., it's like the hike. We're not going to be able to hike. It's going to be too hot. And if you know anything about Red Rocks, if you know anything about it's it's no shading. It's no trees. It's no, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I was going to drive there Saturday morning, but I'll drive there right after my show Friday night. Which I do. So I got to Vegas 4:00 in the morning, Saturday morning, slept for 45 minutes, went to the hotel, slept for 45 minutes and woke back up and did that. We was out there hiking at 6 a.m. Even when one of us was having a heat stroke. That's what she said. We was helping her. I mean, literally doing life-saving things, but also cracking so many jokes. There was one point where I thought my face was seizing up because I was laughing. I needed to laugh so hard, but I didn't want her to feel bad. I mean, it was very much worth it. We had so much fun. That night, now I knew I was going to go see their stand-up show, but that night, my friend was like, oh, I saw Magic Mike last night. You want to see Magic Mike? And there's another comedian that I know, and she actually is the MC for Magic Mike. Her name is Crystal Powell. So Crystal Powell gave us tickets to the show, and I was very I'm like a prude. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no naked man that I'm not in love with. You could get away from me. I don't want nothing to do with no man, especially naked or his personal body parts, if I do not love you. I'm sorry. That's just the way I'm made up, right? But we go to Magic Mike. But I like Channing Tatum. Not that I would want his body parts next to mine, but I like Channing Tatum. And I'm like, my friend was talking about how good the show was. And then she shows us video. She on stage because her birthday's coming up. She on stage holding the man, the man just in his underwear. She holding him like he a tree. And somebody told her, you just got to go connect with nature. Holding his buttocks, like just there for a long time. When I tell you the way we roasted her, I said, okay, we going to go to the show. We go to the show. I said, now, I do not want nobody touching me. I do not want nobody coming on. Like, I don't want, what happens if you don't want to be, like, can they sit us somewhere where, she said, it's a safe word. She said, you say it, they going to give you the safe word. What was it? Hurricane or something. She was like, they going to give you a unicorn. It was unicorn, I think. She was like, they're going to give you a safe word. All you got to do is say the safe word. If they come to you, you say the safe word, they'll walk away from you. I get to the thing, right? Now, as much as she say that early in the day, when we get there, they don't tell us a safe, they don't tell us a word. So this guy, comes, I'm sitting there, and this guy, he comes immediately about to give me like a lap dance, right? And I'm like, nah! I start screaming. I was like, no! Right? My friend is laughing at me. And so the guy just laughs at me, and he keeps going, right? The only reason why I'm talking about this is because I underestimated Magic Mike. It's really not even a stripping show. I mean, sure, if you are really like, I guess, sexually repressed or like repressed in terms of like what type of male bodies you see and how much you interact, how much testosterone you get around you, then maybe that, or if you just like a wild, sexy girl and you just like, I don't know. But let me tell you, they singing, they playing instruments, they are doing choreography. That's what the whole show is. My friend said, I said, they doing so much dancing. And I don't mean like stripping dancing. I'm talking about when they naked dance, it's a beautiful dance. It ain't just like, my friend was like, oh no, these are dancers. Like that's their profession. They're dancers. They're not strippers. They're dancers or singers or, musicians or whatever. Now, are they the best? Are they, speaking of which, Cowboy Carter. Okay, now this is a little bit of tea. I'm going back. I'm sorry. I did not see Les Twins dancing with Beyonce Knowles Carter on Cowboy Carter. And that surprised me. And that was the only time I was like, dang, I wish I had a friend with me because I want to say that to somebody. I want to say that to somebody who is also a Beyonce fan. I want to be like, this Les Twins ain't here. And I don't know if that got anything to do with a couple of months ago, it came like right after Renaissance. The girls started coming out online talking about Les Twins. Some of the two French boys, they twins, and they be dancing with Beyonce. On the Renaissance tour, you saw anytime she had an outfit failure or something like that, they was the one that like, covering her up, protecting her, fixing. Like they've been on tour with, that's how we know them, through Beyonce. At least the general, maybe in a dance world, they know them just for being dancers. But for most of us, we know them from being on tour with Beyonce. But they wasn't there. And I think it's because, I don't know, but I think it's because after Renaissance, like a little bit after Renaissance, it was like a bunch of girls was coming out talking about Les Twins, got baby mamas everywhere where they was on tour. They said they got 52,000 babies everywhere. Wherever Beyonce hit, whatever city Beyonce hit to do music, Les Twins got some kids there. And did they be lying to the girl saying one is the other so that they could sleep with a girl? And, that's sexual assault. That's sexual assault. So they could sleep with the other. So they be lying like, yeah, I'm this twin, but it's really that twin. I don't know. But Beyonce don't play that. Beyonce said, this is what we cannot do. We cannot do controversy. First of all, I'm getting up there. We just got over my man. My man was in some shit and I had to get him to wrap that up very quickly. You know what I'm saying? It almost messed up my daughters coming out. Like we don't do this here. What you do is you show up, you dance, you do hard work. I sing, I dance, I get in the costumes. Then I get out of here. This is what we do here. I don't know what they do everywhere else, but in the Beyonce camp, we this is what we do. We hit the mark, we hit the note, we hit the step, we got the look. But anything aside from that, there's no room for that here. I don't know. This is just me speculating. I'm saying all of that to say I thought that Magic Mike was just like a nasty show where a bunch of men just take their private parts and gyrate on you and put they private areas in women's faces, and then drunk bachelorette or women be like, ah! It was not that at all. It was a quite entertaining show with the script, and the comedian Crystal Powell, who I'm saying, I met her when I first started doing comedy in LA. And now she's doing a show in Vegas. She did such a great job. She did such a great job. And it is actually, although it's like this like male review, it was really sort of a more empowering show for women. Like, this is the female fantasy, not by your definition. I'm going to tell you. And then she kind of uses them like puppeteers. Like, this is my fantasy. This is like, she's playing like the every woman. And like, this is it ain't my fantasy. But my fantasy is just a good, hardworking, beautiful, supportive man that's successful and, you know what I'm saying, kisses me on my forehead and hugs me and has fresh bread baked for me when I get home from wherever I am. Although he has a demanding job as well. But somehow, even in all of his demands, staying fit and doing his job, he still managed to bake me bread. It's like, who? That's my fantasy. This is crazy. This episode is 97,000 hours. This is crazy. I should just end it right here. But I won't. I was going to talk about the show forever because I watched it. It's the new show inspired by a Judy Blume novel that has the same title. Created by Mara Brock-Akil, who created Girlfriends and other successful shows, but most notably Girlfriend, the sitcom Girlfriends. I'll talk about that later though, but if you haven't watched it, it's so good. It's so good. But I'm fading, so let me just get to the main topics. But before that, let me go back to these kids in the Cowboy Carter. This is the reason why people don't like showing their kids. This is the reason why I was listening to a Lizzo interview, and she said, she's learned, and I've actually learned this too. When I've given too much access, I am learning that like, and you guys teach me, maybe not you specifically, but through the public in the world of social media, I am constantly learning how to put in boundaries. And I'm already a person that feels like I established very clear boundaries. But a good amount of times, people who support me, and I'm sure that it's based in love, overstep. And then I have to, it makes me want to pull back. It makes me get a bit protective of myself, of the people around me, of the people that I love, of my information. It makes me because there is always an overstepper. There is always someone wanting too much or trying to access too much, and it makes me go, oh, wait a second, And this is on a if we're talking about Beyonce, a much smaller scale. But this is like, why the moment my kid come out just happy, you immediately are trying to assign some sort of otherness to her, something that is not right, because you're not celebrating it. None of the commentary is like, oh my gosh, beautiful, she's so special. Like, my kid is like this, and I'm so happy. Like, nobody's coming from that perspective. It's all based and built in negativity and jealousy, probably. And I don't even mean jealous of Beyonce. It'd be a lot of adults jealous of kids. Anyway, but this is why I don't even know what Kelly Rowland kids look like. I don't know what no celebrities' kids look. And I say Kelly Rowland because I truly don't know what Kelly Rowland's kids look like, but also she's in such close proximity. I don't know what nobody look like. I know now what Solange kid look like because he grown and now he got a whole, you know what I'm saying? I know what this like, but for the most part, a lot of celebrities, I don't know. We ain't never seen Kerry Washington kids. And I'm sure them kids is cute. She cute, her husband cute. I'm sure them kids is cute. And I'm sure them kids is quite talented, probably. We ain't never seen them kids. I haven't. It's a reason why we ain't see Denzel Washington kids until they got fully grown. And we just had to find out. Because the public be too harsh. It's too hate-filled, too negative. It's too much. It's too much. Okay, now, Z-main topics. Z-main topics. Really quick, Diddy. I think as me taping this right now, it is the second day of court. Monday, they chose their jury and then they put people on the stand. Today, while I'm taping this, actually, Cassie Ventura, who was his longtime girlfriend, also the woman that was seen in the video where that he, beat her by an elevator in a hotel room, in a hotel. That is Cassie Ventura. It's me and you. Cassie is pregnant. I think they said that she's due in like June or July. So she's pretty far along. And I think the reason why she testified so early in this is because of her pregnancy. That's what's being said. I don't know this. This is just information I'm gathering from what I believe to be reliable media sources online, not people just giving commentary. And in their opening statements, the prosecution's opening statement, of course, they've been trying to show like, okay, first of all, before we even get there, because when I was like reading stuff, I was like, I still don't know what he's being charged with. I think all of those civil suits and all of the men, like all of the jokes about, him being a closeted, maybe bisexual, and like so many men coming out and just telling wild stories and trying to get money. I think that really polluted like what is actually happening on the criminal front. And I was like, let me see what he is actually being charged with, like what the charges are. And so according to BBC, in the federal criminal case being heard in New York City, Mr. Combs is charged with racketeering conspiracy, 2 charges of sex trafficking, and 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution. Many of the most severe allegations relate to the racketeering conspiracy charge. This includes accusations of kidnapping, drugging, and coercing women into sexual activity, sometimes using firearms and or the threat of violence. That's what he's being charged with. And so if you hear that, like none of that sounds like any of the, oh, he made me get in the shower with him while I was writing a record for him. And he, and he's just started grabbing on my butt. And like a lot of the stuff that we was hearing in the, on the civil side of things. And of course, because I don't know, people still think that it's very funny for a man who is not known to be gay. Those rumors that people just think that that's funny. And also there's so much homophobia. That was something that like really, really monopolized the media feeds and news and social feeds, right? So the prosecution is, of course, trying to prove that he did everything he did, all of like, yes, he's a violent man, but also he used his entire organization to sex traffic people that he engaged with, kidnap, all of those things, right? They're trying to paint him as this is what he did and this is his character, right? This is his character and his behavior. The defense, Mr. Combs's defense is like, yep, he likes freak offs. Yep, he gets angry sometimes. Yep, he's been in abusive relationships. Yep, he's done some really disgusting things. However, We're here to defend him against the charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy to. He ain't do none of that. Like, yeah, do he live a life that none of us can imagine? Sure. Does he live a life that morally we all are like looking down at like that's disgusting? Sure. But is anything that he's done illegal? They're saying no, right? These are just broad strokes, people. And I'm like I said, I'm not on a jury, right? This jury listening to it. They had a prostitute, a man prostitute who was coming over to like sleep with Cassie, and Diddy was watching it. They had him take the stand. They also had the person who came up to take the incident report. Like he was either a police officer at the time or security at the hotel at the time of the assault. He took the stand, and I think there were some like inconsistencies in his story. In his testimony, rather. And then they had Cassie take the stand, and I read somewhere, was it here in the BBC? It said that when she walked in, like he was staring her up and down, like would not take his eyes off her head. But it says she did not look at him. It says she was kind of shaking when she was talking, and she did not look at him. Let me tell you, I ain't about to look at you either. And I don't got to, but obviously she has to talk about the stuff that she engaged in with him. And like a lot of these allegations that come out, some being very true and some not, right? It seems like the pattern is, well, yes, at some point I did consent to this thing or these things. But then when I tapped out, this person wouldn't let me tap out. When I didn't want to do this, this person didn't allow me to pull my consent. I was and I mean, I don't have any experience in that, but I saw what's love got to do with it. Tina was all the way married to, according to the movie. I know Ike is deceased, but I don't need nobody's estate coming to sue our little I'm Reasonable podcast, right? But the movie, how it was depicted in the movie, he was married. They was married, living together, and he like raped his wife. So the thing that I find so interesting, it's not interesting, but this is the thing that I want to be in a courtroom for. As I'm reading like how they're questioning the witnesses, they say freak offs so many times. I would like to know at the end of this trial, how many times did the court have to document, the stenographer, how many times did he or she or they have to write freak offs? How many times? Because the way, and I know, it's almost like, what was that trial with? I think it was with YG. Who was it with? The rapper in Atlanta. And he was trying to say, or was it ASAP's trial? They was trying to talk in a way that the guys talk, but the attorney was reading it like, and did you say nigga, you, and the judge was like, okay, stop. Let's find another word to say. Cause not only is it just a crazy word or term in terms of freak offs, but like you also, the way you saying it is so sterile. You're saying it so, you're saying it so bland, it's making it worse. So they're saying freak offs so much. Let me see if I can find it. Cassie testified the freak offs became a job. She told the jury she had no time to do anything else but have a freak off and then to try to recover. She testified the longest freak offs last for 4 days. See, I only read 3 sentences and already I've said freak offs too many times. It's like we need a synonym or we need another word. Like, but I know why. I wonder if somebody, I wonder if somebody trademarked that word. Do y'all think, this is a question for y'all, do you think that that would be an unreasonable thing for them to be like, okay, from now on, we're not going to say freak off. We just going to say the sex parties. At the sex parties, at the sex parties, at the sex parties. Not, I went to the freak offs and then the freak offs became a job and then the freak offs was too much for me and I was trying to leave the freak off and the freak off, it's like, I don't know. It just seems, and instead of like, yes, at first I did engage in the sex parties and I consented to the sex parties, but then the sex parties seemed like they became a job. And then when I was tired of the sex parties, he would not let me stop. Tell me, does that sound different to y'all or no? Let me know in the comments. Okay, what's the next Z main topic? Like I said, with Diddy, this is like ongoing. It's going to be every single day. And yeah. The statue of the black lady in the middle of New York City, the 12-foot bronze statue of a black woman titled Grounded in the Stars was installed in Times Square as a temporary public art installation by British artist Thomas J. Price and presented by Times Square Arts. I wanted to know before we get into, because if you have not heard, this received a lot of negativity, a lot of, back and forth, like a lot of opinions, but negativity that was surprising to me, a certain aspect of it. We'll get into it. But I wondered, like, well, why was this even created, right? So, and this might be according to the artist Thomas J. Price. It was created to challenge representation and identity. Price's work includes Grounded in the Stars. Price's work, all of his work, but also including this 12-foot bronze statue of a black lady, aims to confront and disrupt preconceived notions of identity and representation, particularly in the context of public monuments. The statue serves as a counterpart to traditional monuments, often depicting white men in positions of power and authority. It encourages viewers to reflect on who and what is considered worthy of memorialization and public recognition. The other things that the 12-foot bronze statue of this black woman possibly its purpose is to promote empathy and reflection. These are not my opinions. This is according to write-ups of this. The sculpture portrays an ordinary woman in everyday clothing with a contemplative expression intended to evoke empathy and encourage the viewers to connect with her humanity, with the statue's humanity. It prompts introspection on the viewer's own perception and biases, inviting consideration of the lives and experiences of black women. In terms of it being in Times Square, obviously that is one of the most visited places in the entire world. It's definitely the most visited place in New York City. Times Square is a globally recognized and heavily trafficked public space, as I just said. Public space, it serves as an ideal location for sparking conversation and challenging norms through art. It was installed, the installation facilitates a public dialogue about representation, identity, and the value placed on different individuals and communities within society. In essence, the 12-foot bronze statue of the black lady titled Grounded in the Stars is meant to provoke thought, challenge assumptions, and celebrate the everyday humanity of black women in a prominent public space that traditionally overlooks their presence. Before I could even get the news on the article, I saw this girl make a video. The video is no longer up. And I know she got destroyed because You know, the first comment is always what most people are obviously thinking. She in her car making a video. How dare they make this woman look like this and black women don't look like that? And I guarantee y'all, this is why I actually went and looked at her page. I knew before I looked at her page, this is wild, because it looked like when you get out the car, you're going to look exactly like that statue. So why you would have a problem with this, I don't even know. Finally, something is representing you. I knew for a fact, you guys. I sent it to my little sister. I said, but why I look like the moment she stepped out this car, she looked exactly like the statue. Not just look like the statue. I ain't talking about side. This ain't body shaming. Because she was trying to shame the statue. Talk about why I got stringy hair. I'm like, you know those are braids. You know that's just like a braided body. You know those are braids. Why would you even say it's stringy hair? You know that they're braids. I know they tore her apart in the comments, which is why when I went back to find the video to show it to you guys, it's no longer up, which is probably a good thing, because I should probably, you know, I don't ever want anybody from my podcast to go to I don't want my podcast to sort of be like tearing somebody else down, you know. Especially like a stranger, just like a not just a stranger, but like a civilian, like no. And so it's good. It actually was like, yeah, you don't need to be showing that lady, because you about to roast her, as I'm sure they destroyed her in the comments, because she was destroying the statue, and it's like that's so crazy, because the statue looked like you. I really like the statue. I really love things that make me think, that make me want to converse, even if when I am in conversations with people, we don't agree on what we are discussing. I love that. That's how you move the needle, in my opinion. To hear diverse opinions, right? Now, here's the thing. You look at the statue, it is not a ideal or not just Eurocentric standard, but it's also not like what is considered beauty and sexy just amongst Black Americans, especially males. Let me tell you, the fact that Cardi B's body is celebrated. I love Cardi B. So I say this respectfully, because I remember when Cardi B, before she got augmented, and I just wish, and I get it. When I see Cardi B, I just be like, never want to take anything away from her. Never want her to not have what she has or not do what she does. But I be like, and Cardi B is a person that speaks, and I be so surprised that when we see them videos where her butt looks so bad that she also don't be in a video like, this shit look crazy, right, y'all? Like, this shit look crazy, because she's such a forthcoming person, and especially in terms of her personal affairs. So here's the thing. First, never get bogged down in hate that comes from bigots, that comes from racists. It wouldn't matter if that was a beautiful statue of Beyonce. That wouldn't matter if it was a beautiful statue of Lupita Nyong'o. It wouldn't matter if it was a beautiful statue of Iman. As long as there is a celebration of Black women, as long as there is a celebration, a centering of the Black female experience, especially the Black American female experience, especially, I don't know, because the statue is bronze, but I'm going to just imagine the girl is brown skin. I'm imagine if we ask the artist, Thomas J. Price, if we ask him, is this lady light skin or dark skin? She probably dark skin. She probably at least brown. Anytime, it don't matter how small her waist is and how wide her hips are. It don't matter if she got a fupa, if her breasts are big or so. It does not matter if her hair is in an afro, kinky state, braids, or flat iron down her back. When it comes to racist and bigots, they are going to say and do the same thing, which is all they know how to do, which is be ignorant as fuck, be hateful as fuck, be jealous as fuck, because they never, ever, ever want a black woman, any black woman, centered or celebrated. So that's not even something that we got to go into. That is a given. We got women out here stopping little black girls from selling lemonade on a street. So we don't even get bogged down. Why would you make this all the hate? I can't believe the hate. Oh, I can believe the hate. The same people who lied for decades, lied, and all just to lynch young black boys and black men, who lied, who raped baby girls, black baby girls. And you surprised at some people leaving comments? You surprised at people going and taking a selfie and saying something disrespectful? You shouldn't be surprised. So don't even waste your time on that. Only time I'm going to be surprised is if all of the white world, all of the bigoted world, and I'm not saying all white people are bigoted, but all of the bigotry and all of that's the only time I'm going to be surprised. If every single comment is like, this is so lovely. Wow. I'm so glad we did this. I'm tired of seeing them old ass white men who was probably only 35, but they look like they 95 in this statue. I'm so happy we stopped putting these fake ass generals on horses in the middle of a city. Wow. This is just so lovely. It really got my week started off right. If that happens, I'm going to be like, now listen, this is a day I didn't think I would see come. You know how Jesse Jackson was crying when Obama got elected? When I'm reading them comments, if that ever happened, I'm going to be crying like Jesse Jackson. We shall overcome. But when bigots and racists and ignorant people do what they do, what they've been doing, I ain't never surprised. So don't get bogged down in that. Now, here's the thing, and I'm going to just say it, and I don't really like to say this in front of mixed company, because I know this is mixed company, but it actually has to be said. I get if anybody that is pure-hearted, anybody that sees this, any black woman specifically that sees this statue and somehow feels attacked instead of celebrated. And if you go to Thomas J. Price's website, he got a bunch of different statues of black women, and they all dressed and built different. So there is a variety of like sizing and looks and like what they giving off. There's a variety of that, right? But I do get that it's like the same as when there's scarcity, right? When there's scarcity, we get concerned that if this is the only thing that is going to represent us, if this is the only thing that we get to celebrate, then it kind of has to be perfect. But you between a rock and a hard place, because if he made the girl fashion, if he made her fashionable or thin and then you would alienate a very large part of the black female demographic that ain't no size that don't look like Zendaya. This is very layered. It's layered just because it's a British artist. It's a black British artist depicting what I believe to be a black American woman. I might be putting something on it, so just take that out if that's wrong. In the middle of Times Square. But I ain't even gonna get bogged down on that, because that is also a distraction. A lot of times we are concerned with the way we are viewed to outsiders. As Black people, and I'm hesitant to speak for Black people, all of Black people, but I'm gonna say it. For Black people, one, we know a lot of women that look like this. That's the thing that surprised me. It's like, I know more women that look like this than that don't make them any less beautiful. That don't make them any less valuable. That don't make them any less worthy of celebration and centering. But I know way more women who look like that than don't look. I was just in Vegas. I was the and let me tell you, I looked at one of my friends. I said, "You are so beautiful." But let me tell you what, I'm the only person wearing a size 4 pant. I'm the only person I'm telling you, my 3 friends, as much as they are beautiful women, they look like that statue. So if it's just a numbers thing, just statistics, it was 4 of us. And 3 of the 4 look exactly like that statue. And was no less beautiful, no less sexy, no less desirable. But although we know so many Black women that look like this, and as I said, it's beautiful and it's okay, and it deserves celebration, we also carry the burden of one of us representing all of us, good or bad. That has always been a problem for us because it comes from and continues to perpetuate racism. You know, so if it isn't the Eurocentric beauty standard or considered sexy, or rather celebrated as sexy, we're like, wait, don't be putting that out there. Don't be putting no quote unquote undesirable, you get what I'm saying? T-shirt, jeans, real casual looking, Black woman out there for the world to judge us. Like, haven't we been through enough? Because we're so worried with how we are viewed and perceived. But here's the thing, it don't matter. It don't matter if how we are, if the outsiders don't want to celebrate us anyway. Then it doesn't matter. It's like nothing will ever be enough. If you ever tune into my live, you see in the comments some of the wild, ignorant, racist that are said just because. So if we are worried, if we're like, well, if you put that out here as this is a Black woman, then everybody going to think that's a Black woman, and that's what's going to start showing up. And that's what we need to show up. But the thing about it is our fight is never like, oh, this one thing is bad. It's like we need multiple things because we are not a monolith. And because we are not a monolith, when one thing is put out there about us that is perceived to be the not ideal thing, we get very defensive. But there's nothing to defend here. If you are a Black woman and you see that statue and you immediately are triggered, then I'd say you got a problem with yourself. I wasn't triggered. I wasn't triggered. I was like, yeah, that's how one of my sisters look. That's how 2 of my sisters look, actually. As much as one is dark skinned, one is light skinned, that's how 2 of my sisters look. That's how every lady I seen at the post office look. That's how a lot of women look at my shows. Do they be dressed nice? Sure. But we all wear a t-shirt and jeans when we ain't going nowhere. When we just out in the world, look at me. Look at me. So if they made a statue and just put me in a sweatsuit, it's like, so you don't be in sweatsuits? Yeah, I'll be in sweatsuits. But if you only gonna make one, if I could only show y'all one representation of me, I want it to be the best possible representation of me. I want it to be the most undeniable representation of people who are going to hate you anyway. They gonna deny you anyway. So we have to be comfortable celebrating ourselves. What y'all think? I actually looked at I went to his page. I went to the artist's page, Thomas J. Price, and he did some sculptures as well. They were, I don't think this made the news, but he did, or maybe it did, but it didn't elicit a big enough reaction, positively or negative, for it to sort of be viral like the statue is. But it was sculptures of black male faces, faces of black men. And if you look at that, it's like, don't none of them faces look like Morris Chestnut? Don't none of them faces look like Michael Ealy? But and not only do they not look like Morris Chestnut or Michael Ealy, but they also look tired. But ain't nobody up in arms about that. Why? What y'all think? How y'all feel about this statue? Let me know in the comments. Okay, before I get out of here, because it's Friday already, right? It's the year 2026 with how long this episode is. Halle Berry. Halle Berry was in bed with her boyfriend Van Hunt, essentially doing a commercial about lube for menopausal women. Let's watch it.
So, showed y'all how my day started, how my Mother's Day started. And now I'm going to tell you about, I'm not going to show you, I'm going to tell you about how my Mother's Day is going to end. Ain't that right, man?
Yes. I wish you hurry up, too.
First of all, we got our Let's Spin, because Let's Spin just came out in this cute little travel size. And so since we're in Cannes, France, I traveled with it for the first time. And we're about to give it a spin.
You about to Cannes with Van.
Happy Mother's Day once again, everybody. I hope all of you are somewhere spinning.
Oh my God, I ain't never been so happy to have Mother's Day come to an end.
A lot of people was hating on that video. A lot of people was like, TMI, TMI, TMI. Really? Really? Wow. Halle Berry came out a little while ago, right? She came out and said that she was misdiagnosed with herpes, and then later found out that that was a false diagnosis and that she was just menopausal. She was just menopausal, maybe perimenopausal at the time, and some of the symptoms were the same. So now Halle Berry, being a 58-year-old woman, is trying not only to inform, but empower women. The reason why I say women, the reason why I ain't say older women, the reason why I ain't say 50-something-year-old women is because, inshallah, God willing, every woman will live long enough that she will go through this menopausal stage. To think that this somehow doesn't apply to you is ridiculous. Unless you want to die young. If not, there is certain stages that the human body is going to go through, and there are some that are specific to women and specific to men. I feel like I'm talking like Joe Clark here. How could you have a problem with this woman and her man laying in bed showing us nothing? You know, we saw years ago Amber Rose put her vagina on Instagram. and Halle Berry laying in the bed. We've watched worse things in movies, showing nothing, not a nipple slip, not a cleavage, not a butt cheek. Only thing she doing is kind of sending me over the top, and she laughing too much. But here's the thing, she love that man. And we be laughing in a goofy way when we love somebody. You know what I'm saying? When a woman love a man, I'm telling you, let me speak for myself. When I love a man, the goofiness hits the stratosphere. And don't let him be saying all the things he's saying, like, yeah, okay, like, let's end the video fast. We in Cannes, we in one of the most romantic, so they say, one of the most romantic, beautiful places on this earth. I'm with this beautiful woman. I'm with the man of my dream. I done had to kiss so many frogs. I done had babies with men that got me in and out of court, taking all the money I worked hard for. Taking all the money that I had to show my tatas for in a major motion picture. And now I'm here after having a good old time with my babies. Because it's Mother's Day. And I'm laying celebrating with my man, and we about to get it in. And I'm just really trying to sell y'all a product. What is the big deal? Why? It's like this story reminded me of how unreasonable. It's like every so often I get one of these stories. It was the reason why I decided to do this particular podcast, why I decided to take on this angle. This is so unreasonable. To be offended by that, to not want her to do that. If it was a beautiful bed in a commercial and they shot it with the camera and she was like loving her husband and he was like, Mother's Day is, I don't know if they married or not. And a beautiful man next to her. Y'all would have probably been happier if it was a white man in a commercial. Whispering sweet nothings to her. And he's like, Happy Mother's Day. I'm glad that it's over because I get you to myself. And then right before they go into making passionate love, she just reaches her arm over to the nightstand and grabs the little bottle of product that apparently some menopausal women need, in the same way that men, when they reach their menopausal phase, which is much younger, because the amount of men that I know that are in their 30s that be going to the gas station getting those penis pills. Just watch some stand-up comedy. They talking about it. A stage that if every human being is lucky, we will live through. And she trying to let y'all know. We about to get it in, and look, this is going to facilitate. In the same way that condoms ain't going to get me pregnant, this is going to facilitate. Why can we do commercials about Monistat? Why can we do commercials about Viagra? But we can't, it's too much to watch a beautiful 58-year-old woman talk about the product that is assisting her while she is going through menopause, but still want to be flirty and freaky with her man. That should have been a commercial. We about to have a freak off. Since everybody talk about freak offs, we in Cannes, France, and we about to have our own version of a freak off, right? He like, I'm happy Mother's Day is over. And then we see the product. I couldn't believe that people had a problem with this. Sure enough, I looked at the comments. One of my friends' first comment. But she's crazy. I love her, but she's crazy. Couldn't believe. People have a problem with that. If it was just a regular commercial on TV, nobody would have a problem with it. It's like we should only be saying thank you. And if you know anything about these online ads, first of all, maybe Halle Berry, maybe she's becoming like a business partner. Maybe she's adding that to her like business portfolio. But what any advertisers try to do when they have you advertising their product via your personality, your social media, your platform, etc., they want you to make it your own, which is why when you listen to your favorite podcast and the host is doing an ad read, they'll be like, I really had to start the podcast is growing and it's getting real busy. That's why, and I realized I needed an assistant. And so I went to Indeed, and so should you. Even if it ain't appealing to you right now or talking directly to you right now, inevitably, as I said, God willing, God will bless you with more life. And you will one day be I will one day be a menopausal woman. Especially in a world of ageism. For this to just show a very attractive, older couple getting ready to get it in, what is wrong with that? Also, do we want black love or not? So y'all talk about I don't see no black love, and then when y'all we show you, she gonna show you black love right there with the assistance of this menopause lube. I should have got the name of the product. They ain't paying me. We showing you black love. Do you want it or not? Forget black love. Do we want love, period, or not? Because that's all I see. The way that woman is giggling and the way that man is like, come on, let's get to it. Who has a problem with that? On top of the fact, if there is anything that you don't want to see on social media, guess what you got to do? Guess what you got to do if Halle Berry posts something and you don't want to see it? Guess what you got to? You just got to scroll right past it. It takes less than 2 seconds. It takes a millisecond to scroll past it. Go past it. I really appreciate what Halle Berry is doing, and I really appreciate what Halle Berry is doing because she is living through what many women will encounter, the fascination and exploitation of your beauty and the commodization of your beauty and your sex appeal and your youth. And then when you age out of the ideal, when you age out of that, when they can no longer capitalize off of your youth and your beauty and your sex appeal, they want to toss you aside. They want to discard you or invalidate your existence and your experience. And Halle Berry is like, no. I'm aging gracefully. And these are the realities of aging. And me and my fine ass man, my fine ass black man, we are joyfully living through these changes. And Halle Berry, she had like a slightly rude awakening. Halle Berry was celebrated as exotic, as and other and biracial, and then she talks about this. She talks about this publicly, her rude awakening. her rude awakening after she had the biggest career moment in her life when she won the Academy Award, which no black woman has since Halle Berry won Best Actress, Best Lead Actress for the Academy Awards. She talked about how she ain't get no work after that. If you listen to Halle Berry now versus Halle Berry 20 years ago, Halle Berry always be like, as a black woman, as a black woman, as a black. I said, now, what, you know, did Halle Berry go to Ghana? Did she do a 23andMe? Because what is all of this? And I'm not saying that she wasn't black before. Obviously, every role Halle Berry has ever played, she's not like some people, they just play like they don't ever mention it and you just decide, like, is she Latina or is she white? You decide. We ain't gonna say nothing. Halle Berry is always playing black. You could tell by how they cast her kids and her, you know what I'm saying? She always playing black, but still, I don't believe that when she was a younger actress, she was, you know, standing strong on like my experience in this world and in this industry as a black woman, because she was a beautiful, young, sexy, light-skinned, curly-haired woman. And that was very acceptable. Opposite the 12-foot bronze statue in the middle of Times Square. But then Halle Berry realized, oh shit, they trying to toss me aside. They are trying to get me up out of here. Oh, no. No. Because I don't know how old this woman is, because her face looks like it's like, I don't want to talk about her too. I don't even want to go into it, because I be trying to get work in this industry, but whatever. It don't matter. What do y'all think? Do you think that it was inappropriate for Halle Berry to do this video and put it on her Instagram the night of her Mother's Day? Do you guys think it was reasonable or not? Let me know. I gotta go. I gotta take some more herbal remedies. I gotta drink some tea, and I have to go take a nap. Thank you so much for listening to the entire series of I'm Reasonable, because this was 42 episodes. Thank y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Until then, stay reasonable. Okay? Bye.